What is up, folks? We are out here pan fishing for some bluegill and some crappie. Going to be doing some dusk and then after dark fishing, but I wanted to talk today about getting into some tips and tricks for getting these evening panfish. Mainly just about your line and what type of jig to use and what kind of action to use. First of all, fishing at about 11 or 12 feet deep. We're not right on the edge of a basin, but we're kind of off of a basin in a smaller hole. It's getting towards midwinter, and so that's kind of what the general thing is, that the panfish are going to be heading towards the basins. But every lake is different. So in the early ice, you want to be find the weeds, get on a weed bed, and if you can still find a mid ice, you'd probably, or mid-year, you'd probably still want to do that. But we're on the edge of a weed bed here, about 12 feet. It's a spot that I can usually find the panfish year-round. As far as rod and reel, I'm just using your standard spinning rod, nothing fancy. This is just a 13 Fishing Sonicor light action rod. Not super expensive. I think you can get that for like 30 bucks for a combo or something like that. But one thing I want to talk about today is the line. You got fluorocarbon, mono, and braided line. And what I use is I use the 100% fluorocarbon line, and I also use 2-pound test, which is one of the lighter diameter lines that you can use. Basically just because the fish can't see it as well. It's still strong enough to pull in most of these panfish. You could even get a bass or a pike if it's not too big on this type of line. But instead of the mono or the braided line, I use the fluorocarbon. And then what I do also, I string up new line every year if you're using a spinning rod, especially because you'll have that line memory. It'll come out like a slinky if you're just using the same line you let sit all summer, and then you can't even feel the bite because they'll hit that and you won't even, it'll be too much give on it and you won't even feel it. So it also cuts down on your jig twisting. You don't want that jig to twist around down there because it doesn't look natural, and the bluegills don't really want to hit that, and the crappies. So what I do is I change the line every year, kind of minimizes that, and then I put my fluorocarbon on, and then with about a foot above the jig I have one of these barrel swivels. It's one of these black barrel swivels that also helps cut down on that jig spinning. So that's something that I like to do for evening time. I got a tip from a guy that fishes my lake for about 40 years, and he was telling me that he comes out here in the evening time, tries to get these panfish, and he noticed that they were going for his swivel on his Vexilar, and he thought it was because it was black, and he thought that was a good color to fish, and so he's telling me try out a black jig. And ever since that day when I tried that out, I just caught so many fish on it. So I generally have some type of black jig pattern if I'm fishing at night. This one happens to be a clam, it's a clam swirl drop, and so it's black, but it's got some white swirls in it and then a little red there with a little eye. I don't know if you can see that, a little eye on the end. Some people like to use a soft plastic on the end of their jig. I've tried that. I have a lot more luck, at least on my lake, with the wax worms, even more than spikes or anything like that. So I like to tip my black swirl drop clam jig with my wax worm there, and that's how I like to do it. I'll get in a little bit more on the camera about how to play them. I like to play them from above, and some more tips and tricks as far as actually landing them. But when it comes to gear, that's all you really need, nothing super fancy. If I can find them, I'll try and put a link to some of these things in the description of the video, and that way if you want to find this swirl drop or some of that fluorocarbon 2-pound line, I'll put it on there so you can find it. All right, we'll see you down below. A big gill. It's a big bluegill down there. He's coming back around. Come on. I'd like to play him from the top, have him come up. This is a decent gill. Play him from above. Let him kind of come up and get it. He's right in the center of the camera there. That is a good one. Could even be a sunfish, looks like. Come on, buddy. Oh my gosh, he didn't have it in his mouth. He might give me a second chance at it. Come on, buddy. He's very tentative, this guy. I'm almost going to dead stick him, not give him a lot of movement. Hopefully he hits me again. Put it all the way in. Get it in there. Bite down. Oh, he's on the wrong side of the jig, unfortunately. Come on. Come back up here. Come back up here. Oh, and I missed. Here's one coming from the left. It's coming slow. They're real finicky. I'm just trying to stay above him a little and just let him get it in his mouth. Slow my cadence down when he gets closer. Almost dead. Stick him at the end. All right. Look like a decent gill. Oh yeah. There we are. Got that on that clam swirl drop, black jig, and the waxworm. And there we are. It's a nice bluegill there, maybe 7 inches or so. Came in from the left. At nighttime. That's what we're looking for. Coming back. He's so finicky. I just want to almost not even touch it. Got that 2-pound line. There we go. Got him this time. Oh man. This is a good one. Oh yeah, look at that. That's a good bluegill. Okay, that's how we do it. 2-pound fluorocarbon line, black clam swirl drop, and the wax worm. And you can get these bluegills all night long. Look at that. Get a little. Ooh, there's one coming. Coming in pretty quick. I'm just going to let it sit there. Ooh, yep. That's all you got to do. He didn't even see it. You use that 2-pound line. Ooh, this is a nice one. Very nice bluegill. You can see that on the camera. Oh my goodness, that's a sunfish. Huge sunfish. Oh, and he just came off. It's a fat sunfish there. Look at that. Oh yeah. Okay. Look at that sunfish. That is what we like to see. Evening time, haven't even really got started yet. That is really cool. You can see the jowls on them. That's how you know they're big. I could tell that was big just reeling that guy in. Over 8 inches on that one. Let's see. But he's like a tank though. Yeah, that's over 8.5. Just over 8.5. Almost 9-inch sunfish there. Boy, was that fun. Tell you what, I'm gonna let this guy go back. Oh, and he jumps back in. That was cool. See you later. Yeah, there we go. I don't think it's huge, but something. All right, prime time stuff here. There we are. There was some. Seems decent. Seems all right. Oh, okay. I'm getting a little better. All right, not bad. Okay, got it. Whatever it was. Ooh, just a smaller gill. All right, something's coming up for me. Ooh, that seems decent. Suspended halfway. Oh yes, look at that. That is a monster bluegill right there. Monster, monster. And these black jigs, 2-pound line. We're getting into where it's almost dark, not quite yet. There we are. Big male. And he's gone. Didn't get a measurement on him because he fell. That's alright, right into one of my holes. But I was letting him go anyway. Maybe 9-incher if I had to guess on that one. Get right back down there. I got some big ones down there. Looks like on the Garmin there on the fish finder. Yep, there's some. Oh, okay, not bad. There's that feels pretty good. Oh. Guess it was just a big fighter. Oh. Small bluegill. Yep, something was looking at it. I saw that. Seems okay. Yeah, there we go. That's a good one. Another sunfish. Maybe not quite as big as the one earlier, but that's a good fish there. 8-inch, just about 8-inch sunfish there, not bad. Pretty cool, almost dark. You can see something else on the sonar, so we'll get back down. Ooh, see what that is. This feels pretty good. Oh yeah, this feels good. Feels like a good one. What is it there? Oh, it's something big. Oh my God. Holy cow. Look at this monster bluegill. This is easily the biggest bluegill I've ever caught right here. This is an insane bluegill. I saw him on the sonar. This thing is massive. Look at this bluegill. This is the biggest bluegill I've ever caught out of this lake. I don't have a measurement on him yet, but let me just pull this light down a little bit so I can show you this. Oh, look at that. Okay, that massive, massive, over 10-inch bluegill there. That's about, let's see. Yeah, it's over 10 inches, about 10 1/4 inch bluegill right there. That is a nice one. That's a massive bluegill. I'm gonna let him go back. Look at that.